Welcome back to the channel, it's LtBuzzLitebeer, and we are now at T-minus 1 week to go until Starfield achieves high orbit with early access. Now we've got a full slate of topics to run through today, including some last-minute QA and a possible Day 1 launch update, a strange article concerning AMD's exclusive partnership, a bit of theorizing on Phil Spencer's Oblivion comment, possible mouse and keyboard support finally confirmed for console, and then we need to end this one with the Starfield leaker saga. The channel is rapidly closing in on 150,000 subscribers, and that is because of each and every one of you showing love for those Starfield uploads. In case you haven't done so already, please hit subscribe and ring the notifications bell to receive my future upload alerts. Chapters are available for an easy viewing experience, and it's time to get this one started. Let's kick this one off with an article posted yesterday in videogamer.com titled, "Bethesda Still Checking Under Every Rock Ahead of Starfield's Release," alluding to the entire development team still conducting testing and QA right up to the very second of launch. Now with video games this size, there is just so much they need to test, and all too often, AAA games release with uncomfortable performance and game-breaking glitches. And this article goes on to cite examples like The Last of Us Part 1 for PC and Final Fantasy 16, which honestly I have not played. But I would also personally tack onto this list titles like Cyberpunk, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Gollum, The Callisto Protocol, Forspoken, and Redfall. Now, some eventually turned out well and some did not. Again, referencing this article's title, and Todd Howard has revealed that the whole dev team at BGS is by checking under every rock. What he means by that they're playing the game day in and day out. And according to GQ and their recent interview with Howard, his mantra is, "Great games are played, not made." Now, speaking to the state of Starfield and how we've heard that the game is launching as version 1.6.35.0, indicating it has been through some significant revisions and improvements, but I've also received word that Starfield will then receive another update, taking the game up into the 1.7 range, and this could possibly lead to the game being the smoothest BGS launch in the history of the studio. Switching gears, one of the more common questions I've been receiving is if Starfield will support mouse and keyboard, and we may have some preliminary confirmations on this front. Now, according to Reddit user Desperate Appeal 9725, they found and posted this screenshot from their Starfield Premium Edition, and apparently the Xbox Store page is showing this tab under Other, PC Game Pad. And further evidenced as they cite the capabilities area, again showing PC Game Pad, much like Metro Exodus, Grounded, and Cyberpunk. Now, I cannot personally confirm that mouse and keyboard support is going to be there at launch, and I have not seen this question answered anywhere during my research, but if this PC Gamepad designation works the same with Starfield that it does with many other titles, this could be a positive sign for those of you so desiring to use it. If any further details or confirmations come available, expect a follow-up in a future upload. Yesterday, I ended my Starfield video with this clip from Phil Spencer at Gamescom while speaking with IGN.
Okay, so we're super excited for Starfield.
Super excited.
I am.
So I think I'm on my 15th playthrough. I'm probably 200 hours in, but not on one playthrough. Because we change same game formats, blah, 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 all that stuff. So I started in November, but I'm playing, I think on my final character playthrough, total Space Pirate. Man, I'm total Space Pirate. I think it's more Oblivion than Skyrim. For people who play, maybe they'll get that. It is an epic, epic game.
And that last bit where Phil says, "I think it's more Oblivion than Skyrim," has garnered a lot of attention because those two games were fundamentally quite different in the areas of guilds and progression rank ups. Now, Oblivion made you earn every inch of progress, and it used a tiered guild questline structure as you started with these smaller bits before reaching some of the more broad main quest lines. Those were also extremely well written, and in terms of scope and length of the quests, Oblivion really took its time, pushing you and your stamina and rewarding you with a sense of accomplishment when you finally reach the end of one of those quest lines. Along those same lines, and Oblivion was much the same with progression and rank ups, but Skyrim was a much easier system to master. Shorter, less in-depth quest lines, and to be clear, I'm not saying I didn't like Skyrim, because I did, or the writing used in that game. It's just a more scaled-back system of questing and factions. You could log on to Skyrim for a few hours and rank up several times, hell, maybe even reach the top of a faction quest line, which was not going to happen in Oblivion. Taking this sound clip from Spencer and additional information from Pete Hines during his interview, where he spoke about skill points and that they take time to earn, and this could point to a longer progression system, and with that, a possible return to Oblivion-like faction quest lines. Anyways, what are your thoughts on all of this? How will questing and progression be handled in Starfield? Leave me some feedback on this one in the comment section below. Next up, let's talk AMD FSR and NVIDIA DLSS. In this recent article posted by The Verge, AMD claims there's nothing stopping Starfield from adding NVIDIA DLSS. Now, to me, this one reads just a bit off, as Frank Azor, gaming chief at AMD, seems to be towing the corporate line with his responses, making direct answers near impossible. And according to the author of the article, he seemingly wants to say that AMD did not actually make Starfield, quite possibly the year's biggest PC game, exclusively support AMD's FSR upscaling technology at the expense of competitors like NVIDIA DLSS. But he clearly can't, because Azor can't say what the contract includes. Instead, he consistently lands on this: if they want to do DLSS, they have AMD's full support. And he says there's nothing blocking Bethesda from adding it into the game. Azor did confirm that when AMD pays publishers to bundle their games with a new graphics card, AMD does expect them to prioritize AMD features in return. Quote, "Money absolutely exchanges hands," he says. "When we do bundles, we ask them, are you willing to prioritize FSR? Now, Azor says there's another reason why Bethesda might have wanted to prioritize FSR too. Bethesda's decision to use FSR is console leverage, he explains. Starfield is also likely this year's biggest Xbox game, and FSR runs on the AMD chips inside the Xbox Series X and S, as well as competing graphics. Meanwhile, each version of NVIDIA DLSS is exclusive to specific generations of NVIDIA GPU. Now, there seems to be some large piece of the puzzle that is missing here, and clearly Azor is not authorized to disclose it. Again, another excellent topic for the comment section. What is it that AMD is not telling us about this exclusive partnership with Bethesda for Starfield? And we have to end this one with the unfolding drama of the Starfield leaker, who has now been elevated to the title of Master Thief. So, just to get you up to speed, in case you're out of the loop here, a 40-minute video suddenly appeared on YouTube of Starfield, which was thought to be down to a shipping error, as someone had received their physical copy too soon. That upload did nothing to show the gameplay in a flattering manner, as it was shot on a cell phone, and according to some that have seen the footage, it looked like the person playing the game really didn't know what they were doing. Now, that original upload was hit with a copyright strike by ZeniMax and taken off YouTube, but not before many viewers had recorded the entire thing, and it has been playing this game of cat and mouse on YouTube. One of these video copies gets re-uploaded, it gets hit with a strike and removed, and that cycle has been repeating for days now. As of August 23rd, the original leaker, Memphian94, had not posted new footage, although he had claimed he was going to re-record using a GoPro and push another video live to his channel. But in the meantime, he did post what he touted as the first early review of the game. And while he didn't say much about the game itself or its content, he did praise it quite a bit, explained it's not really his type of game and he's not into it. And then he apologized to Todd Howard, saying, "Todd, no offense, man, that's a good game." Now, I also missed this video, but from what I can gather, Memphian94 actually recorded his face during the review, revealing his identity. Fast forward to August the 24th, and the Starfield leaker was arrested for drug possession charges and for the theft of property between $2,500 and $10,000. In his videos and posts, the leaker had essentially admitted to having stolen goods to sell from the warehouse he worked at, which included multiple copies of Starfield. And by the way, just breaking off script here, I just had a thought. Maybe the poor gameplay on that 40-minute video and the drug possession charges are somehow related. And now onto the latest on this one, and I want to again stress this is all alleged at this point, but according to this report by Insider Gaming, Memphian94 was the owner of a Mercari retail account, which has now been linked back to this master thief. Now on this profile, this user, who others are claiming, again is linked to the Starfield leaker turned thief. He is selling up to 1,000 items, many of which are bulk bundles of brand new merchandise. And at the top of his personal Mercari retail page, there's a string of Starfield copies all up for sale, some of which were selling for as much as $650. This investigation is still ongoing, but apparently the accused, again, worked in a warehouse, which is how he came by so many brand new mint in-box products. So at this point, the authorities seem to have their suspect in custody, and hopefully this somewhat dark and slightly comedic chapter in Starfield's pre-launch build-up is finally behind us. If anything breaks across the news wires this weekend concerning Starfield, possibly from Gamescom, I'm going to do my best to give it some coverage, but how about those topics for today? The Oblivion reference from Phil Spencer, the Starfield leaker saga, and what is it with that corporate response from AMD? Let me know your thoughts about any or all of this in the comment section below. Remember to hit subscribe and ring the notifications bell to receive my future upload alerts. Likes, comments, shares are greatly appreciated. You can find all my socials in the video description below. Shout out to the now over 143,000 of you that have found my channel and stuck with me. And a special thanks goes out to my patrons and those of you firing over those awesome YouTube super chats. Until the next one, this is LtBuzzLitebeer, signing off.